Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to Oculus Occulta. Today we'll be doing a channeled messages reading from your passed on loved ones for Dia de los Muertos, which is a day of veneration of the dead. And so I will be channeling the spirits of your loved ones with the help of several oracle cards. And today we're going to have 6 options, which you can see right now. You can pause if you want to make your choice. This is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, pile 5, and pile 6. So please concentrate on which pile calls to you most. If more than one pile calls to you, that's fine. You can watch all of them if you want, or just the ones that call out to you, or just one, it doesn't matter. However many you watch, that's the messages that you're supposed to get. So I will go ahead and pause this so you can make your decision, and also think about the loved ones that you would like to contact. Each pile can be attributed to a particular loved one if that's how you want to do it. So hopefully we can get some messages for you here. And once you've made your decision, I will see you in your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose La Garza, this is the stork. This is going to be your channeled reading. Please think of the loved one that you would like to channel and get messages from, and we will start. So with this card, the messages that I'm getting right now pertain to this person. They might have been a tall person, probably thin. They might have also been a parent. They may have had multiple children, more than 3. Number 19 might be significant to them. They might have been born on the 19th of some month. I'm also getting that this person might have liked going to the zoo, or maybe took you to the zoo. This card is actually reminding me of flamingos, so flamingos might actually be relevant to you or this person that you're trying to channel. Flamingos also remind me of the state of Florida. Not 100% sure where flamingos are native to, but parts of Africa are coming to mind. Shorelines. So African nations that have a coastal region to them. This person might have also liked to go fishing. Might have taken you on a fishing trip as well. You might have pictures with them from fishing trips, because that's what I'm seeing, is a family with a young person wearing a hat on a boat, smiling and holding up a fish with a fishing rod, and the person who took the picture might be the one who has passed on. That's who I'm connecting with. Okay, let's try to get some more information about this person. Let's try to see if we can get some physical attributes. So excuse me, I will be shuffling. I'm gonna pick 8 cards from this oracle deck, and then at least 3 of them should be relevant. So we have dark skin, European, and redhead. I want to make sure these are in frame. Sorry, I'm not sure if they're in frame or not. The setup is a little bit iffy for me. Medium skin tone. Could be Asian. Someone who is often nicely dressed. Might have had piercings. And someone who might be albino. And at least 3 of these should resonate for you and be a descriptor of the person that you're trying to reach. So I'm going to go into a little bit more about the person's personality with another deck. This is also a Loteria deck, but it's a different kind. So again, excuse me because I will be shuffling. We have La Palma. So this person could have been from a nation or a state that has palm trees. Again, Florida comes to mind because I did think about the flamingos and they have palm trees there. I do also believe, again, certain parts of the African continent along the shorelines do also have palm trees. Also, the Caribbean has palm trees. So they could be from the Caribbean nations. There's also a lot of beach and water imagery here. So this is someone who might have loved being at the beach, loved being on the water, or if they passed on, it had something to do with water. We have the sun, which again reminds me of Florida, very strong Floridian imagery. Also the Caribbean, and again, parts of Africa. I'm looking at this and I hear the word Madagascar. That could have multiple meanings for you. It is the country, again, African island off the lower portion of the African continent. It could also refer to the film of the same name. I think it's a children's film. I'm thinking about lions because of that. A lion may be significant to this person or to you. They might have been a Leo. Might have also been Pisces. I mean, obviously depending on who you're channeling. And then El Soldado. This is the soldier, so the person you are trying to channel could have been a soldier, probably in the military, and that is any branch. It could be Army, Marine, Navy, Air Force, strongly getting Army and Navy. The person could have had tattoos, neck tattoos, and on the shoulders and arms. They could have been in a gang as well. That's what I'm getting. Someone who was in the gang. Or some other sort of organization. And not just military, but it could have been like a criminal organization. And they're saying that they're sorry for having been a part of that. They said they had to do it. Channeling does take some time. I will be editing out the pauses that I take to receive the messages. The number 34 is standing out for me. This person could have passed at that age, or something significant might have happened at that age. You could be 34. You could have known this person when you were 34 or met them at that age. 34 adds down to a 7. 7 might be significant. I'm thinking of July. I'm thinking July 7th, and I'm also thinking the 7th of any month. The Sun card here has like a Aztec sort of look to it. So I am strongly getting that this person might have been Hispanic of some sort. I am getting Mexican. Could also be Cuban. Puerto Rican. I'm seeing a lot of island imagery. Again, Madagascar, Puerto Rico, islands in the Caribbean. Martinique, Saint Croix, Anguilla, the Horn of Africa, Croatia, and Thailand. These are the nations that are standing out to me now. Okay, and so the formal channeling will begin now. And whatever messages that come through. I have a few decks here. It's a mediumship deck that I will be using. It just has random words on it. And I have four, I have the deck split into 4 mini decks. So I will pick one card from each of the mini decks. And I will try to channel from those words. So the first word we have here is kitchen. So this person might have loved to cook, probably was a professional chef. Could be a mother or grandmother. I see somebody with an apron mixing something in a bowl. And this is an older woman. Again, getting strong Hispanic vibes from this pile. Okay, beer is the second word. This person might have really enjoyed drinking beer. Might have had a particular type of beer that they liked the most, or brand. Oktoberfest is coming to mind. The beer is celebrated in Germany around October during that festival. Somebody who might have said that they wanted to go to Oktoberfest in Germany. Maybe they never got a chance to do that. Or maybe they did. And they took you with them. Triangle. Also, that reminds me of the Bermuda Triangle, which again is somewhere in the Caribbean. And then cart. Cart is an interesting one. This person could have liked to build things out of things like, let's say, shipping carts. I'm seeing like a shelf that was self-made or handmade from upcycled items like boxes or crates. Triangle makes me think of 3 siblings. This person could have been one of 3 siblings. This person could have made homemade beer as well. I'm hearing beer battered. This could have been maybe their favorite type of food is fried food, or it was their specialty if they cooked. So hopefully that kind of resonates and you know who is being channeled at this point. And in terms of messages, so the Ace of Pentacles makes me think about money problems or issues regarding money. It could be an inheritance if this person passed away somewhat recently. If it's about financial hardship that you're going through, the Ace of Pentacles upright is actually a really positive card. It's a card of being given generosity and being shown charity, being given a gift. So I think your loved one here is trying to let you know that everything will be okay if you're worried about your financial status. They're trying to give you some comfort there and let you know that this is not sink or swim. That's the message that I'm getting. It's not sink or swim. Money is coming. Help is coming. Pray and go to church. Those are the messages I'm getting. Again, that is denominational. So if you are Catholic or Christian, this is probably your pile here because the passed on loved one is encouraging you to stick to that tradition of going to church. So obviously that's not going to resonate for everyone watching this pile. But if it's relevant for you. The 3 of Wands is here. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck, this is ships coming in. Again, this is an encouraging card about patience and waiting and things that belong to you and that you deserve. The good things that you deserve are coming. In this card, it looks like this woman is climbing some sort of mountain towards these 3 branches. She looks tired and it looks like it was an arduous climb, but she finally made it. And so I think your loved one is trying to emphasize that the struggles that you're going through right now will end. Things will get better. If you have a tradition that does veneration of the dead, they're suggesting that you pay attention to that. Dia de los Muertos is practiced in Mexico, but it is not the only day of veneration of the dead. Certain parts of Asia, such as China and I think Vietnam, they also have days of the dead that aren't necessarily in the fall. I believe they happen in the spring. Essentially, the message here is go look at those traditions that you relate to. There's also Eastern European days of the dead, which I think do happen around October, November. Anyway, find the one that you resonate with and learn more about it. That's the message that I'm getting, veneration of the dead. If you have an ancestral altar, they are asking you to pay attention to it. I'm seeing a cigar and a portrait of somebody in black and white. There's a picture in black and white in a frame on an altar, and a cigar is significant there. Sometimes people offer cigars as an offering to ancestors and spirits, and I think they're asking for that. If you do not have an altar set up for your ancestors, they're asking you to consider doing that. What other messages can we have here? 5 of Swords. If you and this passed on loved one had any sort of argument that you feel guilty or bad about, they're saying don't worry about it. There's no pettiness. There's no hard feelings about that argument. Those are sort of concerns of the earthly realm. And once you pass over to the other side, you don't even think about that kind of stuff. Like, so there's no grudge or no hard feelings here. If that isn't relevant, then this card is speaking to sort of the feeling of wanting to be correct in an argument, no matter who it hurts. And your loved one is basically saying, maybe work on that. Initially, this did come in the reverse, but I'm taking it upright. So because it was initially trying to be reversed, what it's trying to say is that this is not the best way to be, and so it's something to work on. So when our loved ones are able to see sort of the forest for the trees because they're passed on, and they can have better judgment about petty human behavior that's ego-based, they can give us suggestions such as this. So that, I think, is something that they're trying to get you to pay attention to. Okay, and I also have some messages from heaven cards so that we can get something a little bit more direct. I had to leave this way. It is hard at the beginning, but I know you will make it through. I hope it helps to know that I will be waiting here for you. And then here, there are no tears of sadness. Here is just eternal love. So if you were concerned about this person's well-being in the afterlife, they're letting you know not to worry, that they're okay, they're doing all right. And once again, that you will persevere in multiple ways, not just financially and not just through any hardships that you have, that you may be going through currently, but also through the passing of this loved one. The grief will eventually subside, and ultimately we're all headed in the same direction, so you will be reunited eventually. I will leave you with some angel numbers, and hopefully they resonate for you as well. We have 23. Now, these cards are in Spanish, and unfortunately I don't know Spanish, so if you want to pause and sort of take a screenshot and blow it up and see what it says, if you can translate that, go ahead. the number 4. You can also translate the image if you take a screenshot. I believe Google Translate has image capabilities as well. And then the number 14. So hopefully these numbers have some relevance for you and you got the message that you needed to hear today. Keep in mind that our loved ones on the other side are waiting for us. They love us. They're protecting us as much as they're able to. They're guiding us as much as they're able to. And they expect us to live our lives guilt-free and without carrying the burden of grief for too long. Okay, and hopefully that resonated for you and brought you some comfort. And with that, I will move on to the next group. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the El Nopal, which I assume means cactus. Unfortunately, I don't actually speak Spanish, but I'm making an educated guess today. So this person could be from a desert nation or a desert state, such as New Mexico, or nations that have a desert, such as the Sahara, Gobi Desert. This person might have liked succulents. They might have liked gardening. And I have to say, because New Mexico was brought up, they might have really enjoyed the show Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. This is somebody who might have liked road trips. Did they have an RV? The number 39 stands out for me. Sorry, my cat interrupted the reading. A helicopter was going by before my cat interrupted for a second time. So this person might have been in aviation. They might have been able to fly a helicopter or a plane. I'm seeing a lot of land that is empty, right? So wheat fields, deserts, a lot of khaki. This person might have been a little bit overweight, might have been on the heavier side. I'm also hearing dry humor. The person might have had like a raspy laugh. A helicopter is going by again. This person may have been in law enforcement. Might have been a police officer, detective, sergeant, something like this. And the reason I say that again is because a lot of times the helicopters are either police helicopters or news helicopters. They could have been a news anchor, but I'm gathering more that this person was in law enforcement. The number 39 is standing out for me, so this person might have passed at that time, or they might have passed when you were 39, or you might have met them at the age of 39, or when they were 39. Okay, let's get some physical descriptions if we can. Excuse me while I shuffle. Okay, we have markings. This person might have had tattoos, could have even had tattoos on the face, could have worked with people who had tattoos on the face, so this could be in corrections, could have been a correctional officer working in prisons, could have had tattoos on the arms as well, dark skin, green eyes, might have had a tooth gap or dental work that was significant. With green eyes, I'm also seeing they may have worn glasses. This could be a male that we are thinking of and channeling. Could have been tall. See this chain link fence here, that might be relevant. could have had blue eyes as well. With dark skin, could have been somebody who drove a lot and they tanned, especially their arm. The driving arm was tanned, and they might have said something about that at some time. Again, I think this is the group that liked driving or road trips. So that could be relevant. That's what I'm seeing. Someone who either liked to drive or drove a lot for work. They could have had an oval face as well. Okay, I'm gonna get some more archetype cards with the Loteria Oracle. This is a different version of the Loteria cards. Let's see if we can channel a little bit of who this person is. I mentioned in the last group that out of these 8 cards, at least 3 should resonate for you and sort of remind you of the person that we're trying to channel. We have the cello. So this person could have been a musician. They could have very well played the cello. They could have just liked music if they weren't a musician themselves. Could have liked classical music, but I'm also hearing Led Zeppelin, classic rock, that kind of music. The hat. In this imagery, this hat looks like it could be for cold weather. It gets really cold in the desert nations and desert states. So you actually do need ponchos and hats and things like this. And the fire, the campfire, could be somebody who liked camping, liked building campfires, or liked being by campfires. I'm seeing someone playing guitar by a campfire. Singing. I'm filled with a lot of joy here. This person was very joyful, very much trying to make people laugh, making them have a good time, wanting everyone to have fun. And now I'm switching over to feeling kind of sad because I think I'm sensing that this was a great loss for you when this person passed. My condolences. And then the world here. So in tarot, the world represents cycles and endings. The imagery here just makes me think of someone who took a lot of burdens on their shoulders. And there's a lot of masculine energy here. So for the majority of you, I think this is a male that you're thinking about. I don't think they were particularly young. They could have been somewhere in their 30s up to their 60s. That's the range that I'm seeing. So this could have been an uncle, brother, father, grandfather. Whoever he was like the backbone of the family, or he was always helping you. Anytime you were in trouble, you could call on him and he would come solve the problem for you. This person might have had a twin or a brother who was just like him. Could have been from this area, the North and South American continents. Brazil is standing out. The spiral here is standing out for me. Did this person like 9 Inch Nails? The Downward Spiral album. Their favorite color was blue, green, aqua in that area because I'm seeing a lot of that here. Were they the one who would set up the fireplace at home during winter? I'm seeing wooden floors. Did they like South Park? They liked the show South Park. They thought it was funny. They liked Cartman. Okay. Let me pick the next set of cards. So I will be channeling again, and I have a deck here that's for mediumship, and it's split into 4 smaller decks, and I will pick 1 card from each of the sub decks, and from there we will see if we can get more information and any messages. Okay. 2 cards came out here. We have Ribbon and Crawl. I'm hearing ribbons in your hair. This person, did they try to do your hair when you were little? Put something in your hair? Zoo. You might have resonated with group 1. Bear. Okay, that sort of gives me the imagery of someone large. In the Lenormand system, a bear is someone who is large, and I believe I did mention that this person might have been bigger. We also have that they might have been tall. So I am seeing a very large, sturdy person. It could also be the fact that they were a large part of your life, very important. And tool. So this could be somebody who worked with tools, mechanic, somebody who did woodworking. Again, this is a lot of like masculine energy. The bear makes me think about that moral dilemma that was very controversial somewhat recently, where they asked a father, would you prefer your daughter to run into a bear or a man in the woods? So that might have been relevant to this person. They might have had a strong opinion about that. They might have been someone who took you to the zoo or enjoyed going to the zoo. Or here in this case, I feel like this person maybe didn't like zoos and had an opinion about that as well. Or maybe the bear was their favorite animal. If they went to the zoo, they wanted to go see the bears. Crawl here makes me think about, you know, parents who watch their kids as they're learning to walk. They have to crawl first. This may have also been something that this person said to you in terms of advice, telling you not to worry about going slow in life because you have to crawl before you can walk, before you can run. Ribbon also now makes me think about, again, law enforcement and military. We have the yellow ribbon to support the troops. We have, I think, blue ribbons to support law enforcement. So the ribbons might have had something to do with a funeral, like a military funeral or policeman's funeral. I'm seeing Scotland now because I know they do bagpipes during those funerals. UK, Ireland. This person could have been very proud of Irish roots. Could have said something about green eyes. We had green eyes here earlier, and that's just reminding me maybe they had some Irish ancestry and were very proud of that. The song When Irish Eyes Are Smiling comes to mind. Did this person give you a present, and was that present a violin or a cello or some instrument, an electric guitar? Did this person teach you how to play some notes or teach you how to play an instrument? I'm hearing, I wish I could go back. And this is referring to a trip that they took, maybe with you. Again, desert imagery comes up. Cairo, Egypt is coming to mind. The pyramids. Did you go to Egypt with them? And do they want to go back? Did they have a partner who was from Eastern Europe? Did they date somebody from Eastern Europe? I'm seeing a Ukrainian woman. She has like a Russian accent. And that woman is related to this man. It seems as if she broke his heart, or she had a significant impact on his life and his psyche. Perhaps that's something you know about them. Maybe it was his mother. Let's see if we can get some more messages using tarot. We have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is about burdens, but you can see this burly man, this very strong man, he seems to have no problem carrying these burdens. The imagery is very similar to this here. So this is very strong masculinity. Even if this is a woman that you're channeling, she took care of a lot, and she basically was in her masculine energy and took the role of both mother and father. Could be an older sibling, could be an older female sibling, actually. I'm seeing an older sister. And so these messages here, the strength that this person exudes, they're seeing that in you as well. So this is speaking to the fact that whatever burdens you're going through right now in life, you can carry them no problem, although it doesn't seem that way, and it is an arduous task for you. Off in the distance, that looks like, I believe it's the Pantheon, which is in Greece. And in general, in the symbology of tarot and cards in general, climbing a mountain is essentially just the symbol of dealing with obstacles and problems. And again, unlike the traditional tarot, which the person is hunched over and carrying these sticks, these 10 sticks, having a hard time going through, they're not even climbing, they're going through a road where they're trying to reach the city. This person is doing this with one arm, and he's climbing a mountain in sandals. So the message here is that you absolutely are capable. You have the same level of strength as this passed on loved one who is coming on very strong. If you are not in touch with your masculine energy, this person is asking you to get in touch with that, however that resonates for you and however you interpret that, okay? It's not my job to tell you what masculinity is or isn't. It's not my job to tell you what femininity is or isn't. That's for you to research and then decide on. But the message is tap into your masculine, tap into the energy of action, and do what you're supposed to do. And I'm getting, again, very masculine messages here, like men endure, men provide, men keep going. This may seem cliche for you, but this might be a very traditionally masculine person. And they're still finding benefit in those messages, right? So even though they've passed on, you're above sort of the masculine feminine dichotomy when you're on the other side. But if it's relevant for you who has to live in the material world, they're telling you, listen, take whatever you feel masculinity is and take it into consideration, integrate it, and do what you need to do. So if you've been procrastinating on something, this is the message to stop doing that and take action. Start moving in the direction that you're supposed to move. Here is the Seven of Wands. This person is balancing on the sticks as she is climbing. It looks like she's climbing. And so, again, there's a lot of imagery of surmounting obstacles in different ways. And here we have a more feminine, balanced way of doing it. This reminds me somehow of the Temperance card, again, because of balancing and patience. And so your passed on loved one is saying life is a balancing act. I don't know if that's relevant for you necessarily. Perhaps you're in the feminine energy too much, and that's why they're emphasizing masculinity. But again, also in Jungian terms, we have the anima and the animus. The anima is the feminine, the animus is the masculine, and we're supposed to integrate both in an equal fashion in order to function correctly. And so there's a lot of that imagery and emphasis here. So I don't know how that might be relevant for you, but take it how it resonates, please. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So we had this in group 1 as well. So there were a lot of things here that were similar to group 1 as well. So maybe you resonated with that group as well. Ace of Pentacles here is like being given a gift, something material. It's about being given money. So in terms of a message, I think your passed on loved one is trying to say, if you have any monetary issues or burdens related to money, don't worry, because an offer, a gift is coming. So this is a hand that's offering something. It's offering something tangible. It's offering money. So help is coming. It's on the way. Be patient and keep going. Keep persevering. Keep moving in the direction you're supposed to move in. And don't worry about where the money will come from, because it will come. Now, I know that might not be comforting for people who need to know, well, exactly where is it coming from? Unfortunately, when it comes to spirituality and, prayer, how things happen is technically none of your business, right? We have to deal with the concept of divine timing. It comes when it comes. It comes at the right time. Trust that it's the right time, even though it doesn't look like it, even though it looks like it's the last minute. And how it comes, that's not for you to decide or know. Just know that it is coming, because life can always surprise you, right? Things come out of nowhere. Sometimes you think, oh, this is it. It's over for me. And then some miracle happens that you weren't even considering, because it's not your job to consider those things. So let me now get some messages from Heaven Oracle to get more direct messages. One thing is for certain, though my life on earth is over, I am closer to you now than I ever was before. And so that's usually very true for people who have passed on and moved through the transition of death. They can be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. The rules don't apply for them the way they do for us. And one of the things about mediumship that I learned is that the moment you call on someone who has passed on, they're there for you instantly. So you just call on them and they will be there for you. Please don't feel guilty. It was just my time to go, which is a very direct message. And you will hold me again. It is a matter of time. I just want you to be happy until then. So as I told group 1, we will inevitably be reunited with the people who have passed on and transitioned through death, because we are all going in the same direction. We're all going to die at some point. So we are all going to be reunited. And hopefully that's not too morbid for you. I'm going to leave you with some angel numbers. And the cards, they're written in Spanish, and unfortunately I don't speak Spanish, but what you can do is pause the video, take a screenshot, and I believe Google Translate has image capabilities now, so you can say, translate this image, and it should be able to do that for you. We have 000, which is beginnings and endings, so a new beginning. 1010. Could also be a date, October 10th. Could be important. It's also angel numbers like this that are repeating patterns. Could be soulmate cards. So this person could be a soulmate, and it doesn't have to be a romantic soulmate. Your grandma could be your soulmate. So there's that. And then the number 33. So hopefully you got some messages that brought you some comfort, and you could pinpoint who this person was. If you could, I'd be curious to know who they are to you. And yeah, we'll all be reunited in the end. We're all going back to source. That's the whole point. So yeah, group 2, thank you for joining me. It's been an honor to channel these messages for you. Hopefully you got something out of this. And yeah, best of luck. I will see you in the next one. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose El Catrin, which I believe is the gentleman. Unfortunately, I don't actually speak Spanish, so this is just me making an educated guess. So this person could have been someone who dressed very well. You might have also resonated with group 1. The person might have been a smoker. They might have been born in the 1920s. They might have liked the era of the 1920s. I'm hearing pinstripe suit. This person may have been a lawyer or would have had to wear suits for work. I'm seeing monocle here, and this person may have had something going on with one eye. Could have been heterochromia, which is 2 different eye colors. They could have had astigmatism or nystagmus, or something about just one eye. Could have been blind in one eye, could have had decreased vision in one eye. Something could have happened in childhood to their eye. I'm seeing baseball. I'm seeing a baseball hitting this person in the face on one side when they were a kid. I know that seems very specific, but I can't help the channel messages, you know. Hopefully it reaches who it's supposed to reach. I see the game of baseball. I see that movie, Madonna was in it, where it was all the ladies playing baseball. I can't remember. It was like a 90s movie. There's a phrase, there's no crying in baseball. I can't remember the name. I think it was A League of Their Own. That could have been a movie they enjoyed or quoted a lot. Marlboro, which is really hard to say, but that could have been the brand of cigarettes that they liked. I'm also seeing Spirit, I think. That's a brand of cigarettes, Native Spirit. I can't remember the exact brand name, but the imagery shows a Native American on the carton. I think it's called Spirit. Seeing the color yellow. Maybe they liked the yellow spirits. I think there's yellow and blue. I'm hearing the term lung cancer, again, because we're talking about cigarettes, but this person might have passed because of a lung issue or cancer or lung cancer. Black hair. His black hair is standing out to me. The number 4 is standing out. Did they like Kim Cattrall? Catrin here reminds me of Kim Cattrall. She was in Sex and the City. She was Samantha. Did this person live in New York? Wanted to go to New York? Did they like the New York Yankees? Something about New York. Did they like Donald Trump? And not just as a president. Did they like him as a person? Okay, I'm gonna use some oracle cards to get a little bit of the physical description of this person. And I'm gonna pull 8 cards, and at least 3 should resonate. Okay, same height as you, so maybe not too tall, not too short. Average height. I'm hearing and seeing 5'7", 5'8". Mixed color eyes. Wow. Wow, I did not plan that. So I think I was mentioning the heterochromia. That's very interesting. I didn't even know this card exists in this oracle. Anyway, that just emphasizes for me that like either they had different colored eyes or there was something about one eye that was different. Maybe in the iris there was like a mark. Sometimes there are some imperfections and markings in our iris, in the colored part of the eye. Maybe that was in one of the eyes. Mature. This person was mature. Might have also been an older age. The gentleman also gives me that vibe of someone who's mature. Also liked sort of the finer things. Had very good taste. Braids. They could have braided their hair. And I'm sorry if you can't see the cards fully. I'm sort of having a hard time aligning everything correctly because I can't see the camera. So could have braided their beard as well. They could have liked Vikings or that Viking show. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with pop culture. I don't know what the name of that Viking show is, but it was very popular, and I think it was on HBO. The music from there was also very popular. They could have had a mole somewhere prominent, either on their face, on their neck, or some other place. Could have been Hispanic or Latino. I also got that, I believe, in group 1, so there may be some ties with group 1. Again, beauty mark or mole could have been somewhere, could be relevant. And again, this emphasizes the aspect of one side of their face being different than the other. So with the one eye being different and these beauty marks, they could have had a scar as well. Again, markings on the face, markings on the body, and especially on one side. I'm going to use a different type of Loteria cards to get more about this person's personality. And like I said, 3 out of 8 here should resonate for you. And hopefully, as I'm channeling more things are relevant to you and this person that you're trying to connect with. You have here La Dama, which is the lady, which is interesting because we have the gentleman. So this could be a larger mix of people who chose this pile. Could also be a couple who are relevant to you. This could be somebody who was very comfortable in their masculine and feminine energy. It could be a woman who preferred gentlemen, who would always talk about the type of man that she admired, or felt that her husband or her partner was a gentleman. The harp, that reminds me of heaven. So that's good. That's good news. Although I believe all of us are going to heaven, but that's a whole other issue. This is someone who could have played a string instrument, could have very well played the harp, although that's a very rare instrument to play. Then again, heterochromia is rare, so this person could have just been a rare type of person, or someone who had a lot of unique things about them, or unique things that happened to them. And we have the deer. So this person could have been very sweet. Although it's spelled D-E-E-R, referring to the animal, they could have been a deer, D-E-A-R, so someone very dear to you. The person could have been a hunter, but not a trophy hunter. This person hunted for a purpose. This person was not cruel. They were actually quite kind and very good to animals. I see the butterfly here. They could come to you through messages of butterflies. So if you see a butterfly, like a real one, while you're out and about, or if you see images of butterflies, it reminds you of them. For Dia de los Muertos, the monarch butterflies basically migrate, and I think they all, I want to say hatch. I don't really know how to talk about monarch butterflies, but I think when they come out of the cocoon, they all come out at the same time because it's seasonal, and it happens right around Dia de los Muertos, which is perfect alignment because the butterfly represents that transition from death to the spirit world. So again, if this person was Hispanic or Latino, Dia de los Muertos could be part of that tradition. And they had some significance in terms of maybe liking the butterflies, thinking that, you know, Dia de los Muertos is perfectly aligned with those butterflies. Because as I'm describing it, I'm talking about, I'm feeling as if it's such a perfect alignment that it should happen right around November or the end of October. This person could have been very proud of their heritage and culture, whatever that might be. Chrysanthemums, because I'm looking at this flower and I'm thinking about chrysanthemums and carnations. There's also a brand in the US called Carnation. They make, like, I think a type of milk. I'm hearing powdered milk. Abuela or abuelita, which I think means grandmother. There's a chocolate like cocoa mix that I'm seeing, a powder. I'm seeing powdered milk and the chocolate powder. That might be significant. This could have been your mother. She could have been disappointed. If it's not your mother, that's okay. Just if this is a woman that you're channeling, this woman might have been disappointed in love. She might have been disappointed in the men that she had dated. She was looking for a gentleman. That was her emphasis and focus. Or she dedicated her life to a man. Could have been her son, her partner, her father. This might seem a little bit heavy-handed here and very obvious, but did they ever hit a deer when they were driving by accident? I'm seeing a car accident with a deer. Were they religious? Were they excited to go to heaven? Did they talk about heaven with you? Did they talk about what they expect it to be like? Would you say this was somebody who had their head in the clouds? That's what I'm hearing. Someone who had their head in the clouds. Fashion is coming to mind. Fashionista. Someone who was really well dressed and fashion forward. Could have had a unique style. Okay, I'm going to channel through some mediumship cards, and these have random words on it. They're split into 4 mini decks because the full deck is like way too large for me to handle. So I will pull 1 card from each sub deck, and it'll just have a random word on it, and hopefully that word has significance to you and it'll help me channel. So we have cough here, which is interesting because we also have the smoker. So maybe this person had a cough. Maybe that's relevant to how they passed. Phlegm, edema, tuberculosis, lung cancer, a scratchy throat. Cart is here, which was in the, I think, first group as well. Cart here makes me think about crash cart that they have in hospitals. Maybe that's relevant to how this person passed, or if they worked in healthcare, maybe they worked with, sorry, that's a cat hair. Maybe they worked with people who had lung problems or heart problems. Also brother, you know, that's sort of straightforward. We'll get into that in a minute here. And then orange. So, okay, so again, cart reminds me of crash cart, which occurs in the hospital. That's what they bring out to like revive somebody who's going into cardiac arrest. This person might have had like heart and lung problems, or they had a partner or a brother or a child who had those problems. They could have worked in healthcare. They could have had relatives that worked in healthcare that impacted them. So for example, let's say they had a brother who worked in healthcare and came back and talked to this person a lot about that. That could have been distressing. That could have induced a sort of OCD, like a fear of mortality, essentially, because lots of times we don't think about certain things unless we're confronted with them. And maybe this person was confronted with the realities of either their job or a relative's job, close relative. And And then orange here could be, you know, maybe they liked oranges, maybe they like the color orange. I'm drawn to something in my house right now that is a Halloween pumpkin. That's orange. They might have really liked Halloween. They might have liked that combination of orange and black. They might have liked candies, Reese's candies, which is the peanut butter and chocolate. That could have been a combination that they liked. They could have liked chocolate in general. Leather jacket, motorcycle, and boots, leather boots. In terms of some messages, let me go to the tarot to see if we can get more information. We have here the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is usually someone who's very outgoing, popular, sexy, beautiful, attractive, life of the party type of person. And the Wands suit is the suit of fire. So this person might have been a fire sign, could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, this could be a woman, doesn't have to be. Could be a man who was very in tune with his feminine, or he took care of a woman that he cared about greatly, who impacted him. Could be someone who you consider such a gentleman because he took care of his sister, his wife, his aunt, his daughter. And he took very good care of her. This person could have liked cats, you know, because I'm seeing cats here. Egyptian. Aramaic. I'm just channeling, you know, words. Hopefully they're relevant to you and this person, and they mean something. Any language that originates from Aramaic or is a variation of Aramaic. I don't know what those might be. I'm seeing Scandinavia, which I think is Norway, Sweden, and Finland. I'm also seeing Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, which I think is considered the Balkans. The Baltic Sea, that area. You know, the Page of Pentacles here, and then the 10 of Pentacles. So, in terms of messages related to the tarot here, you could be somebody who might be worried about monetary issues. And it doesn't have to be that you're suffering from monetary problems. It could just be that you are interested in creating generational wealth and you're wondering how to do that. This passed on loved one is letting you know that you will accomplish that. Whatever goal that you're trying to set for yourself, either financially or in terms of having an empire or building a business or completing school and completing your education, you will accomplish that with no problems. The end goal is essentially set and guaranteed for you. Page of Pentacles here, given the imagery, there could be some advice to not be too stingy, not to hold on to your wealth too tightly, and sort of loosen up your grip a little bit. Enjoy your money, you know, within reason. Obviously, don't go nuts, but live a little. Live a little is the message that's coming through. With regards to the Queen of Wands, again, this could be compliments to you for being outgoing and sort of taking on a confident demeanor. If you don't resonate with that, then the advice is to be more confident in yourself. You are beautiful. You are radiant. You are special. You are unique. You can do it. You can accomplish it. These are the messages that are coming through. You shouldn't worry. And ultimately, the message that I hear is, yes, you can, and you're going to do it. So whatever that is for you, whatever you're worried about or wondering if you can accomplish, the answer is yes, you can accomplish it, and you will accomplish it. Not just you can, you will. Okay, so I have some oracles that are direct messages. I think it's called Messages from Heaven. So let's get a few direct messages. We have, one thing is for certain, though my life on earth is over, I am closer to you now than I ever was before. This is a message we got in one of the other groups. This is very true. I was mentioning that as I'm learning mediumship, one of the things that I was told is that when the people that we love pass on through death, if you call on them, they come immediately. They're able to be in multiple places. They're everywhere and nowhere at once because the rules don't apply like they do here on earth for the living. So if you call on them to help you or guide you or just to remember them, they're there immediately. It says, the butterfly that hovered around you, the feather you found, that was me saying hello. So that's interesting that we get this card after I sort of harped on the butterfly situation. I was going to say butterfly effect. So maybe that's something that they talked about, or I believe that's even a movie. Maybe they like that movie. But butterflies seem to be very relevant to this particular group. And butterfly here, it looks like it's blowing some wind, which is very similar to the cigarette imagery. So aside from being a fire sign, the person could have also been an air sign. So that is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So maybe those signs are relevant. And then please don't feel guilty. It was just my time to go. Again, we got this message in another group, but you know, guilt is a very common feeling that people have after somebody passes on. So hopefully you don't feel guilty. There's nothing to feel guilty for. The people who are on the other side have a huge bird's eye view and they think very differently than we do here on earth. You know, things that are like grudges or things that you think will never be forgiven very easily. So the message here is to not feel guilty or bad, and to know that this loved one is with you at all times. I will leave you now with some angel numbers. On the cards, it's written in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I don't understand it, unfortunately. But what you can do is pause the video, take a screenshot, and then I think there are some AI capabilities out there now that can translate images. So if you go to like Google Translate Image, you should be able to translate the image if you need to. And so we have the number 4. The number 111. And the number 3. Which is really interesting if you consider there's a 4 here on the gentleman and a 3 here on the lady. So it could be 4, 3, 43, or 7 that's relevant to you. So, I mean, that's up to you to decide. I just found it interesting that we have synchronicity here. Right in front of your eyes, folks. Okay, group 3, hopefully that resonated for you and gave you some comfort and you got something out of this reading. Of course, my condolences to everyone who has lost someone that they cared about and loved, but they're never far from us, and we're all going in the same direction anyway, so we're going to be reunited whether we like it or not. So thank you for joining me here, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Take care. Hello, group 4. You chose El Diablito, which means little devil. And I only know that because this is my favorite Loteria card, and I looked that up because I don't speak Spanish, so I had to go look that up, because Diablo just means devil, but Diablito, this is called a diminutive, which is when you change the word to indicate that the thing that the diminutive is attached to is actually something small or little. So we might say in English little cat, but in Spanish and certain other languages the word would be changed to gatito, which means little cat in and of itself in the word. So hopefully that made sense to you as just a interesting linguistic difference between English and Spanish. We have diminutives in other languages as well, Russian, German, Farsi even. I think Italian does it as well. But yes, whoever this loved one is that has passed on is a little devil. They were a little hellraiser in their youth, in their time on Earth. They could have been a twin, and the reason I say that is because of the number 2. Somehow that's just coming to my mind. Person might have had strong opinions about many things. Used strong language. I'm drawn to the chicken foot. This person might have practiced voodoo, or might have known about voodoo, might have been knowledgeable in witchcraft. Even if they didn't perform it themselves, they were very knowledgeable. They could have been a religious studies person, someone who was an expert in religion. They could have studied philosophy, might have had a degree in those fields. Could have also studied sociology, anthropology. They were a very curious person, intellectually curious, very intelligent, sharp-witted, sharp-minded, sharp-tongued, very witty. They could be mean. They could have been someone who was maybe hurtful at times. Might have said things that like really hurt. They could have been into psychology and knew how to get under people's skin, use that to their advantage. But I don't see them as a bad person. I see them as just very smart and able to defend themselves. I see this fork here. I don't know if that's relevant. The pitchfork. They could have been somebody who liked to poke at people, who liked to sort of agitate people. Could have been argumentative. Were they born in the 90s? Or did they like the 1990s aesthetic? Smashing Pumpkins, Marilyn Manson, Nirvana. Toyota Corolla, that's interesting. I don't really know anything about cars. Okay, so let's see if we can get some physical attributes. And I'm gonna pull 8 cards, and out of the 8, at least 3 should resonate for you. Albino. We got this in one of the other groups. And sorry if I'm not aligning these cards correctly on the screen. I can't see the screen here on the phone from where I'm sitting. This person could have been an albino. They could have just been very white or very light colored skin. They could have liked roses, could have liked red roses, pink roses. They could have liked the movie Powder, which is also, I think, a 90s movie. It was very popular back then. I'm seeing also albino rabbits, the white rabbits with red eyes. That may be relevant to this person in this pile. Might have had wavy hair. Could have had curly hair. So far, not straight hair, but you never know what cards are going to come out. Younger than you. This person could have been younger than you. I think the people born in the 90s are young, but maybe not to you. I don't know. I mean, I was born in the 80s, so everybody's young to me. Could have had an oval-shaped face. Oh, okay. They could have been a witch. They could have had long hair. And they could have had piercings. So with witch, again, this could have been someone who did practice witchcraft. They could have practiced demonology. They could have very well been religious. It doesn't have to be witchcraft necessarily, because to me, occultism falls within the realm of religious studies. And if they didn't practice, maybe they just had admiration for witches and witchcraft and whatnot. or they just studied it and knew a lot about it. Okay, I'm going to use another version of Loteria cards to get a little bit more about this person, this passed on loved one that we're trying to channel and communicate with. We have the ladder. So this person is definitely up in heaven. If you believe in heaven, this person has ascended. This person could also be an ascended master. This person, again, is very intelligent, very wise, spiritual. I see pomegranates here. Could be a sign of fertility. But I see that they chose maybe not to have children, or they chose a vasectomy, hysterectomy, something about not wanting children or not being able to have children, but being okay with that. Could very well be the opposite. You know, many people are watching, you know, any YouTube video at any given time. I'm not saying tons of people are watching my video necessarily. I'm just saying it's for a global audience. So anything goes, but the way I'm feeling it and the way I'm channeling it is somebody who either did not want children and took steps to avoid having them, or could not have them but was comfortable with that. This could also have been somebody tall, or someone who really did have to work with ladders, or they had stairs in their house or apartment, and they talked about how they had to go up and down the stairs, and maybe they weren't necessarily thrilled about that. Could have been somebody who had a tree house or always wanted a tree house. The picture, that reminds me of Aquarius. This person could have been an Aquarius, which makes sense because they're very intelligent people and they do a lot of research. So this person could have done a lot of research. Again, with witch, they could have just researched witchcraft and known about it if they didn't practice themselves. We have the Valiant, which I believe is a brave person. So this person was probably very brave, very intelligent. I see this person holding a book, again, speaking to that intelligence. He could have been anti-violence. I see a lawn, a very well-kept lawn, sprinklers, very green grass. Maybe they liked to garden or tend to their lawn. I'm getting the state of California, Arizona, Crete, which I believe is an island that belongs to Greece. Cyprus, similar island. Sorry, I'm American, so you'll have to excuse me with the geography. Okay, I'm getting the term bowler hat. I don't know if that's even a real thing. Bowling? Did this person like to go bowling? Did they wear hats? Did they make fun of people who wore fedoras? Or did they wear a fedora themselves? 44 is standing out. Could have been when they passed. I suppose they wouldn't be born in the 90s then, but it could have also been when you met them, at the age you met them, or could have some significance. Something significant happened to them at the age of 12, and maybe you know this. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but it's something that impacted them, because the number 12 is standing out to me. This person was very giving. They like to nourish things and people, so they were very helpful. Did they climb trees when they were younger? I'm hearing wife beater, but that is the term for this white tank top that men tend to wear. Suspenders, suspension. Did they like working on cars? Did they talk to you about their car? Okay. I have a mediumship deck that is very large, and so I split it into 4 subgroups or subdecks. So I'm going to pull 1 card from each of the subdecks, and it's just random words. So let's see if we can get some messages from these cards. They're just going to help me channel. So we have diver. This could have been somebody who liked to dive, which is interesting because you have to climb up a lot of the times to get to the platform to jump off of and dive. This person might have liked being by the pool, or they liked swimming. Butter. Let's see. Person could have liked butter. I mean, who doesn't, right? I love butter. Could have made their own butter. They churned their own butter and they were proud of that. Maybe they liked to bake. They baked a lot. Or they cooked with butter. They preferred butter over vegetable oil. That might have been something that they talked about with you. Roller coaster. They might have enjoyed going on roller coasters. Or they were maybe emotionally volatile and that's how you remember them. Or that's how they know that they were, so they're sending the message of, hey, you're gonna know it's me if you remember my emotional outbursts and the fact that it was a roller coaster being around me. And then elephant. This could have been somebody who had a really good memory. They memorized things very easily, very well. They could have very well liked elephants. They could have also been larger. So could have been tall, could have been a little bit heavier, overweight. Did they like Red Hot Chili Peppers? Not just the actual peppers, but the band. Because I know they have a cover of a song called Roller Coaster of Love, I think. Maybe they like that song, because that song is coming up for me. The butter that I'm focusing on makes me think of the butter that you keep outside, people who don't put it in the fridge, and it's in a dish on the kitchen table. I don't know how or why that would be relevant, but maybe it's relevant for you. Okay, in terms of messages, let's get some messages from the tarot. We have the 5 of Wands, which looks like a bunch of people fighting. In the traditional tarot, it's practice for basically war. So they're using wands instead of swords, but they're basically practicing. So it's not an actual fight, although in the tarot it's usually interpreted as quarrels and fighting. I'm really drawn to this person who looks bound and is bent over, and the other person looks like they're kicking them. And the message here seems to be they can see that you're struggling and you have a lot of I'm hearing hats to wear, and you have a lot of things that you need to take care of, people that you need to take care of. This could be children, that could be siblings. I'm specifically hearing brother. We had another pile that had the word brother, but I'm hearing like there's a brother you have to take care of. And they see this. They see you struggling. They want to congratulate you on being able to do so much. 9 of Pentacles. That's a wonderful card. Okay, so, all right, let me not get ahead of myself here. Okay, let me get clear messages, please. One more very clear message. the Page of Cups. Okay, I am not going to censor anything because I don't believe in censorship. YouTube can do what they want, okay? I'm just not censoring. I can't stand having to do that. You don't want to monetize it, don't monetize it then. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. The reason why this is such a good card is because it is someone who is financially independent, okay? Independently wealthy. This is fantastic news because this passed on loved one is essentially telling you that that's where you're headed, that's where you're going, that's guaranteed for you. Now, with all of this struggle that you're going through, sorry about it, your ending will be fantastic. So go through it, deal with it. You're doing beautifully. Now, I don't know the sense of humor of this person, but I'm seeing Kim Kardashian's mother holding up the camera and saying, "You're doing wonderful, sweetie." And that's usually like a meme that we post when someone is like really struggling or going through it, and we're just kind of on the sidelines going, "Oh, you're doing great." We're not able to necessarily intervene, but we're cheering from the sidelines. And I think that's what this card is saying. What is coming for you is like incredible. Emphasis is financial, but this is also like in terms of relief and emotional relief that you're going to be getting in general. So similar to one of the other groups, I forget which one now, but let's say you're trying to graduate. You're going through a very difficult certification program or whatever, or you're in grad school, and we all know how difficult that is, the ending is going to be fantastic. You're going to graduate. You're going to get that certificate. You're going to get the money. Whatever it is that you're working on, it's so assured. And the Page of Cups here, the Page of Cups. Okay, so two messages here. Number one, this person loves you dearly. I don't know who they are to you, but there's a lot of love that they're handing over to you. It could also represent an apology. So this is not you having to apologize to them, no matter how you two separated. Okay, this person passed on and you're thinking, "I never got to say I'm sorry," yada, yada. That's not the direction. This person is apologizing to you. So this offer is an offer of love, of an apology, is just very positive message. The love is like the emphasis here. I'm just feeling like my heart is feeling full, and that's like being poured over and poured out, and this person is passing that on to you. And elephant is okay. I'm just gonna say something. There was a restaurant that I think is now defunct, and this again was, I think, in the 2000s, or I don't think it was the 90s, but it might have been the early 2000s. There was a restaurant called the Elephant Bar. I don't know if that's relevant to you or not. And of course, the places where elephants live, I believe, is India and Africa. So those countries might be relevant. I'm also hearing Sri Lanka. That might be relevant to you as well. Okay, so let's get some direct messages. I have an oracle here called Messages from Heaven. They are a little bit more direct, so let's see what they have to say. I am so proud of you. Please never doubt that. I love you so much. So there we go. That's confirmation for me from the Page of Cups, where this person really just wants to say, "I love you. I love you. Please don't feel guilty. It was just my time to go." Incredible synchronicity there. Again, that guilt feeling, you feeling like you need to apologize, is absolutely not the case. It's the other way around. This person wants to apologize to you, so you should have no guilt, which is easy for me to say. I understand it's part of the grieving process, but just understand that once they, our loved ones pass on to the other side, things are very different. Like, there's no grudge, there's no none of that. There's no hard feelings. It's very, very loving. I promise you that I feel a million times better. I am free. So hopefully that is relevant for you and makes sense. Overall, this is like a lot of love that's coming through, a lot of positivity. I'm going to leave you with some angel numbers, and this deck is in Spanish. Unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish, but what you can do is press pause, take a screenshot, and then you can use image translation. I think Google has one. You can type in Google image translate and it should be able to translate the cards for you. You have the number 33. You have the number 23. And the number 888. So maybe August of 88 is important. But these are the angel numbers. They might be relevant to you. So, okay, group 4. I hope that resonated for you and gave you some comfort, and there were some messages here that were that made sense for you. If you'd like to share whether the messages made sense or not, I would appreciate it. I would love to hear it. But other than that, don't worry, this person really loves you still, and we'll all meet again. You know, we're all going back to source. We're all headed in the same direction. So it's not a real loss. It's just an illusion, right? Because it's just different times, but we're all ending in the same place. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Hello, group 5. You chose the spider and the number 33. So this is your channeled reading, connecting to your loved one. Arachnophobia, that's also a movie, I think, from the 90s. Did this person have arachnophobia, a fear of spiders? If so, that fear doesn't exist on the other side. They may be giving you this symbol, and you might have chosen this because you remember that they were afraid of spiders. They might have liked the No Doubt song Spiderwebs. They could have liked spiders or worked with spiders. They could have been an entomologist or a scientist of some sort. The web reminds me of silk. It reminds me of strength, because some spider webs are so strong that the military actually thought about making vests from spider webs. The word is escaping me. It's trying to come through, but I can't remember what the word is exactly for the like bulletproof vests that military people use. The word that is coming is like cavalry, something with C-A-L and V in it. This person could have liked horses or rode a horse. I'm seeing a ring on the left hand, a very large ring on a woman's hand with like long nails. This person might have been 33 when they passed, or 33 when you met them. They might have been born in the 1930s. The word psyche is coming to mind. They might have studied psychology. Hypnos, so they might have been a dreamer, somebody whose dreams were prophetic or relevant, or they talk to you about their dreams a lot. Like nighttime visions, not just like aspirations. I'm hearing somebody say, I hate bugs. So it could be one of two things, right? Somebody who either loved bugs or hated them, but it was relevant enough that you chose this pile. They could have lived in a place that had lots of insects. Texas is one place I'm thinking of. The Caribbean is another place I'm thinking of that I know has a lot of bugs. I'm thinking of some Asian countries that have crickets. Crickets are good luck, I think, in Chinese culture. This person might have been lucky in life. They might have had good luck. Okay, I'm going to use an oracle that looks at physical attributes, and I'm going to pull 8 cards. At least 3 of them should resonate. Could have been a blonde, and sorry if I'm not aligning these correctly. I'm having the worst time trying to look at my screen from where I'm sitting. They might have worn red lipstick if they were, well, I mean, they don't have to be female to wear lipstick, but you know what I mean. If that was relevant for them. Average height. Not too tall, not too short. Tribal. Okay, they might have had a tribal tattoo or liked tribal things. Might have had green eyes. They might have been tall. Or average height, I don't know. Oval face. Or square face. Okay. So hopefully there's some things that are relevant of who we're channeling here. I'm going to pull some Loteria cards. This is a different version of those cards to see if we can get a little bit more information about the person that we're channeling. We have the rooster. We have the bottle. We have the fish. Okay, so lots of messages here. This could have been somebody who liked to go fishing, who maybe took a cruise. Maybe they were somebody who liked the idea of taking a cruise. They could have done that in life at the age of 50. They could have passed at the age of 50. They could have liked seafood. They could have come from the state of Maine. They could have liked Maine lobster, Red Lobster, the chain of restaurants, bass, which is a type of fish. This message in a bottle. This person obviously has things that they want to say to you. The little message inside the bottle says, "Love, how deep is the ocean inside you?" Okay, sorry about the transition. My phone ran out of battery and I had to restart. I had almost finished the reading, but I will continue and I will put down the same cards that you had before. So as I was saying, there's actually a lot of messages that are coming through. So it seems like there are a lot of people in this group in particular. I'm now focusing on the eye here. The person that's coming through might have had brown eyes or prominent or distinctive eyes. So I had used a mediumship deck. It's really large, so I had to split it into 4, and I took 1 card per sub deck, and these cards have words on them that help me channel. And so one of the words here was fresh, which sort of reminded me of what we were talking about earlier about how this person might have wanted fresh food or had a fresh catch if they were a fisherman. And also it reminds me of the morning time, like the rooster waking up early and being fresh for the day. We also had cast, which made me think of castaway, casting off, and casting a line. So again, the fisherman imagery is being repeated. With regards to Castaway, they could have liked the film that had Tom Hanks in it. I'm also hearing cast off, cast away, casting a spell. Also, maybe they broke a bone and had to be in a cast. I'm mostly hearing casting a line though, again, for fishing. And then you had flower. So this person might have had a particular flower that they liked, a scent that was floral, that is unique to them. Their name might have been related to a flower like rose, dahlia, or lily. I was also hearing lilac, even though that's not a name, it could be a color or the flower type. They could have gotten you flowers, or you got them flowers, and that's coming through. And then we had castle, so that reminded me of places in Europe, Eastern Europe and Russia, where there are castles. And it made me think of somebody who could be of German descent, Scottish, or Irish. We do have green eyes here. One of the other groups had something similar, so if you were attracted to the other groups, you might get multiple repeated messages. So the countries were Germany, Austria, Scotland, Ireland, England, Russia, countries in Eastern Europe that might have castles. I think France also has castles, so does Italy. And then with regards to the tarot cards, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which has to do with, I call it hard work, but it doesn't have to be arduous. It doesn't have to be unpleasurable. It could be work that you actually enjoy doing. And so your passed on loved one is emphasizing the fact that you tend to be a persistent and hard worker, and they're admiring that and congratulating you on that. Now, this doesn't have to just be work that you get paid for. It can also be you going through school, trying to get a degree or some accolade, and they're congratulating you on being persistent and consistent on that path. Now, this card, you got the Six of Cups, which is a wonderful, beautiful card to be getting in a reading like this. And what's interesting is this gentleman is offering a bouquet of flowers to the girl, which is correspondent to the term flower here. So again, this could have been somebody who got you flowers, or you got them flowers at some point, or flowers are just important to who they are. They might have been a gardener or a florist. In the traditional Rider-Waite, it's a young boy giving flowers to a younger girl. It's also the card of past lives, soulmates, reconciliation, apologies and forgiveness, and nostalgia. I also see it as a sibling card, so this could have been a sibling. Doesn't have to be. But I do feel some familial ties. This person could have been a family member or a close friend to your family. And then here we got the Empress, which is a card of abundance. So this person could have been female, doesn't have to be. This could have been a parent, a female guardian, such as a mother, grandmother, or older female sibling. But it doesn't have to be. It can also be speaking to your nurturing side, your beauty, your abundance, and the ultimate abundance that you're going to get from your hard work at the end of the Eight of Pentacles. So the middle card, this Six of Cups, makes me think that this person is still close to you. They're watching over you. They have fond memories that they hold on to on the other side, and they hope that you do as well. Because the card is about nostalgia and memories, so this is somebody you probably do have memories with. You probably also have pictures with them. And the Empress makes me think about parents, both mother and father, especially mother. You could be a mother yourself. The message that's coming through is that you're an excellent mother or an excellent parent if you're a father. It's about nurturing, about being kind, about being empathetic, about being intuitive while raising your children, or interacting with the people that you love. And then I got some cards from the Messages from Heaven Oracle, which are pretty direct. And so here it says, the butterfly that hovered around you, the feather that you found, that was me saying hello. And that was also seen in another group. So if you were drawn to that, there might be some messages in the other groups as well. So the signs are there for you. And again, the butterfly and the spider, these are sort of insect imagery that comes to mind again. And then here, please don't worry that I am alone or lonely, because I am surrounded by all our loved ones. So again, this could be a family member or someone who knows other people in your family or friend group, basically someone who is in your circle. And they're, not to use a strange word about heaven, but they could be networking up there in the sense that they know people who are associated with you. This is somebody who knew people in your life on Earth, and probably also know people who know you in the afterlife as well. And here it says, do not hesitate to talk to me. I can hear you at any moment. So one of the things that I learned as I honed my skills in mediumship is that when you call on the passed on loved one, they can immediately come to your aid or be beside you. And that's because time and space are irrelevant on the other side. The rules don't apply like they do with us. They can be anywhere at any time. So if you call on them, they will always be there immediately. And lastly, I pulled some angel numbers for you, and hopefully the numbers resonate. So you got 66, you got 00, which is about beginnings and endings. 0 is full potential number, and then 999. Now, I don't speak Spanish. These cards are in Spanish, but what you can do if you also don't speak Spanish is you can pause it, take a screenshot, and then use the current AI capabilities, such as Google Translate, for images, because they can translate images now. So if you need that, go ahead and do that. And that's all I have for you, Group 5. I hope that was helpful and it resonated and brought you some comfort. Please let me know if you know who this is that was coming through with the messages. And with that, I will go on to the next group. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Hello, Group 6, and welcome to your reading. You chose the heart with the arrow through it. So this could have been somebody that you might have had a romantic relationship with. It doesn't have to be. That's more of what the arrow represents rather than the heart itself. The heart could be speaking to maybe how this person passed. It might have been heart problems. This person could have been in the medical field themselves. Could have been studying medicine. For some reason, I'm getting that this person might have liked to drink alcohol. Maybe they did it to excess. Or maybe that's just a hobby that they had. Maybe they liked wine, or were just a connoisseur of different types of liquors. This person was fashionable, dressed well, or liked to follow trends. I'm hearing railroad. I'm not sure how that's relevant, but I just channel, you know. So I'm seeing old-time trains like steam engines. Person might have traveled by train often. That's actually, I want to say rare. Especially in the US, we don't use trains that much anymore, but it depends on where you live. Maybe using a train is much more common than for the United States. I'm seeing Japan, hearing Tokyo, Japan. Feather. This portion is reminding me of feathers. This person was fit. They were athletic. They might have had a heart murmur, or they had a child with a heart murmur. I don't know why the word gizzard is coming to mind. Not even 100% sure what that means. And the word insight. Okay, so I have some cards that speak to physical appearance, so I will pull 8, and at least 3 should resonate. So We have elderly, so the person might have been elderly, especially if they passed from a heart condition. Doesn't have to be, it's just whatever resonates. They might have worn glasses. They might have had coarse, curly hair. Might have been a woman. Again, that doesn't have to be. Anybody could be coming through. It's just the predominant energies. They could have been older than you. Someone who's older than you. They might have been short. Maybe not so tall. Might have had hazel eyes. Oh, sorry for shaking the camera there. They might have been a brunette. So like I said, not everything needs to resonate. At least 3 should. I'm going to use a different kind of Loteria cards. It'll give us some insight about this person and maybe a little bit of clues of who they were. Interesting. We got the spider, which was the last group. You might resonate with the spider group as well. We have the crown. We have the boot. Okay. I'm hearing old leather. So we had a couple cards suggesting that this person was might have been elderly or older than you. And here the crown in Spanish is La Corona. And I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, we were convinced that Corona was fatal for the elderly. And at that time, during the pandemic of 2020, we lost a lot of grandparents and parents. So this person might actually have been from that group. That might be who we're channeling. The spider, this type of spider I think is an orb spider. I think it's a garden spider. I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that I've seen this in backyards, out in nature. So this person might have liked gardening. They might have, well, like the spider group, it's divided. The person either could like spiders or very much dislike spiders. So if they had a fear of spiders, that's something prominent, prominent enough that it's mentioned. Or they liked spiders or had no problem. Maybe they were the one who would get a cup and catch a spider for you and throw it out. They wouldn't kill it. The boot, of course, here reminds me of Texas and the southwestern states, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas. Can even be the lower half of California and the top half of Mexico. Ranchers, cowboys, farmers, people who work in the desert. I'm also seeing trucker, a lot of traveling by car, or land travel in general, because we did associate this with trains for some reason. Thinking about Christmas, the ornate decorations here are somehow reminding me of Christmas. So Christmas time might be relevant. The sign of Sagittarius might be relevant, or Capricorn. The boot also makes me think that this person was a hard worker. Perhaps they were in the sun a lot. They might be somebody who had to go to work constantly. Someone who didn't get to retire, someone who worked until the day they passed, always kept busy. I'm hearing lilies because of the earrings here, tigers because of the stripes, and then tiger lily. Okay, I'm gonna pull some mediumship cards. These cards come from a very large deck that I had to split into 4 mini decks. So I will pick one card from each subdeck, and these cards will have random words on them, and that will help me channel some messages. So let's go ahead and do that. Tool. So this person might have worked with tools. Again, a gardener uses a shovel, a rake. Card. This person was probably very thoughtful around the holidays and gave thoughtful cards. They could have also been a card reader. They could have done cartomancy with playing cards or tarot cards. They could also have been very generous, so they gave you their credit card to use when you needed it. Horse. So this person could have owned or ridden horses. Again, it goes with the concept of the cowboy or the rancher, if that's relevant. I'm also thinking of the soldiers in front of the Buckingham Palace who sit on the horse, and that horse bites everybody if it gets too close, if they get too close. The palace guards, basically. So maybe this person visited the UK on holiday as a tourist, or they live there. And then basement. So there could be something in your basement or their basement that might be relevant that you might want to go check out. Basement, again, makes me think that there's something hidden, put away, or maybe something that was unsaid between you. There's something hidden that you will find regarding this person. It's nothing bad, but it's like a missing piece to a puzzle that you need. You will find it. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to this person per se, but it makes me feel like there's something hidden somewhere that will be revealed eventually. It could be literal. You go into the basement and you find something that you were looking for or needed. Or it could be metaphorical, where you have an issue or a problem or something that you're trying to accomplish, and there's a missing piece that's needed to accomplish this goal that you haven't found yet. So the message is that you will. Okay, let's go to the tarot now. Get some more messages. We have the Knight of Wands. The Moon. And the Queen of Swords. So again, this person could be female, it doesn't have to be. In the Suit of Swords, this is the air signs, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that could be who we're dealing with. The Moon has to do with Cancer and Pisces. Pisces because this card represents Pisces, but the Moon rules Cancer. So it could be one of those water signs. Could very well also include Scorpio. The Knight of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is the fastest moving knight. Here it looks like the horse is trotting somewhat slowly. To me, the message is take your time, don't rush. I'm drawn to the lion on the shield, so that could represent Leo, could also represent strength and courage. So this passed on loved one is explaining that they believe that you are very courageous and very strong, but I think you might be too impulsive. And I think you have a tendency for burnout because you do too much and you do too much too quickly. You're impatient. And so the loved one is telling you to take your time, slow down. Get things done and accomplish the things you want to accomplish as the Knight of Wands, but don't go as fast as is represented in the original art. The moon speaks to your intuition. You might have prophetic dreams. You should listen to them. These little drops here make me think about tears, so you might have cried a lot over this person's passing. Obviously, they don't want you to be sad. The moon here on her head talks about, again, her psychic abilities, her dreams, because this is at night, and things that plague her thoughts. The other thing is, use your intuition to speak to this loved one, because they will speak to you through dreams, through a higher voice. So the voice that you hear responding back to you, that's the loved one. You're not crazy, you're not hallucinating. It is what you think it is. The Queen of Swords, this is my favorite queen in the deck. She is no nonsense, very intelligent, says what she feels. They're encouraging you to continue being that way. And if you are not that way, if you don't resonate with that sort of behavior, the message then is to embody that behavior. So one of the things you can do is look up the qualities of the Queen of Swords online. She will be described. She's a very inspiring queen. And the suggestion is to be more like the Queen of Swords if you're not already. And if you are like the Queen of Swords, continue that. And there is a Messages from Heaven oracle deck that has more direct messages. I'll pull 3 for you for some direct messages. It says, I am aware that you miss my voice and physical presence, but my soul and spirit are very much alive. And that's true. On the other side, we continue, and all you have to do is call on them, and they will be there immediately. So this loved one is letting you know that they're still around you, and you're able to speak with them if you want. I am communicating with you through angel numbers, and I will actually be getting you some angel numbers at the end here, so hopefully that will resonate for you. It is hard at the beginning, but I know you will make it through. I hope it helps to know that I will be waiting here for you. So there you go. As I was telling the other groups, we're all headed in the same direction. We will all be reunited in the end. So try your best not to fret. It is very difficult to lose somebody here in the physical plane, but they're not lost in the astral or 5D plane. Once we transition through death, it's not like we're annihilated. We're still around for the people who love us, and they're still here for you as well. So angel number 18, the number 3, and 1111. So numbers like this that repeat, that's like soulmate cards. So this person could have been your soulmate, and that doesn't have to be romantic at all. Your grandmother could be your soulmate. So with these cards, they're in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately, but if you also don't speak Spanish, what you can do is press pause, take a screenshot, and then use the AI capabilities that we have now. Type in Google Translate image, and it should be able to translate the image for you. But yes, hopefully these messages resonated for you, Group 6. Please let me know if you know who was coming through to speak to you. And hopefully you got something good out of this. And my condolences to you and everyone who has lost a loved one. But again, we will be reunited one day because we're all headed in the same direction. Okay, thank you so much for joining me here, and I hope to see you in the next one.